For this module, we will be examining the theoretical foundations that support this course. First of all, there are three types of theories. The first group of theories is known as empiricism. These theorists believe that knowledge is internalized. Children are born as blank slates. I'm sure you know the term tabula rasa. Empiricists believe that we have to teach children everything. We have to tell them or show them in order for them to understand. The second type of theories, known as rationalism, believe that children are born with everything they need, it's innate, and that maturation is the key to learning. It takes time, so everything unfolds over time. Piaget said that in actuality, constructivism includes an interaction of both of these theories. In constructivism, children are not born as blank slates. They are born being able to think and reason. Maturation makes a difference in how they're able to think, but it's not the only influence. Secondly, people can play a role in promoting or developing the development. They can slow it down or they can speed it up based on how they interact with the individual. But the key is that knowledge is constructed by the individual inside their own thinking. In terms of the nature of knowledge, Piaget identified three different types of knowledge: physical knowledge, social arbitrary knowledge, and logico-mathematical knowledge. I want to take a moment to explain these to you. The first, physical knowledge, is defined as knowledge of properties of objects. The properties are in the object, part of the object. So the color of an object, the size, the shape, the weight, all of those kinds of things are properties of objects. They can be observed. People can know them by interacting with the objects. For example, a characteristic of a ball is that it bounces. You can interact with the ball and know that it bounces as you drop it. A characteristic of an egg is that if you drop it, it cracks. And you can try that out and observe those physical properties. Social arbitrary knowledge are the labels that are assigned to things and the customs in a particular society. They're arbitrary because they're just made up. There's no logical reason, and they exist in a particular society but may not hold true for all societies. For example, in English, we label the place where we live house. In Spanish, it's known as casa. So those labels are different depending upon the society in which you live. The letters of the alphabet, numerals, those are the examples of social arbitrary knowledge. You learn social arbitrary knowledge by interacting with others in the society or by being told. The third example or third type of knowledge is logico-mathematical knowledge, and the definition of that is knowledge of relationships. Logico-mathematical knowledge, the relationships, exist inside the individual's mind. They are not observable, and if you have not constructed that relationship, then that knowledge doesn't exist for you. An example of that is the conservation of number task, and you'll be able to watch a video in a moment about the conservation of number to see how, even though a child can see information, it doesn't mean that they have yet constructed that logico-mathematical relationship. Now, these types of knowledge interact in a child's thinking in what's called the logico-mathematical framework. That's the organizational structure in which we can think and reason. There are two ways that we do that, and that is through abstraction. The first is simple or empirical abstraction. In that case, you focus on one attribute alone and ignore the others. For example, you might ask children to sort a pile of shapes that are different shapes and different colors. If they pull all of the yellow ones together, then they are focusing on that one attribute of color. They're not focusing on all the others. If you ask them to sort them how they're alike or different, and they pile them all up together, they're only using one attribute, color. Constructive or reflective abstraction is the making of mental relationships, and in that case they focus on multiple attributes at the same time. We'll stop now and give you a chance to watch the conservation of number task, and then we'll move on.